Welcome to Your Anime Senpais. I'm Richard.
And I'm John.
You know what, John? I feel like talking about Tensor episode 11. What about you?
That would be awesome.
All right. Well, you know what? If you guys have not watched that episode yet, full spoilers ahead. So if you haven't watched it, go watch that and then come back here and watch our review.
And if you enjoy our reviews, consider subscribing to our channel. And let's get this episode started. So, Richard, how are things in the village with Rimuru now and the...
And Kaijin or Kijin.
Kijin.
Yeah, things are progressing pretty well. We see, the village is still being built up. The dwarves are helping out the goblins and all them. So
that's good.
Actually, Shuna is making like some new clothes and everything. So nice. with the help of the dwarves, of course. So a lot of interesting things going on there. I do like when Shion and Shuna had their little rivalry. We got a little bit hint of that, which for me is one of the best things about this entire series. They just kind of periodically fight over Rimuru, like who gets to escort him, I guess. So they're like both kind of just grabbing onto him, like trying to force him onto on each of their own sides. But
you think as strong as and powerful as he is, he just couldn't split in two?
I mean, I guess he could. We do see him make clones of himself, but
yeah.
I don't know. But it does set up for good comedy, and I guess one could say that this kind of has harem elements to it. But I mean, can you really have a harem if the main protagonist is a slime? I guess this series will answer that. But in any case, I do also like how once they got finished arguing, that Shion just kind of takes Rimuru and just kind of wraps him back up and sort of walks away. Which I just kind of had this thought. I was like, I get that he's a slime and it probably doesn't affect him at all whatsoever. But at the same time, it seems a little disrespectful, especially since he's like your leader or whatever. But, whatever, I guess. In any case, moving on from that, another hilarious part for this entire series really is the famous trope of the lethal chef.
Ooh.
In this case being Shion. And you know what, let's talk about Gobita for a second, man. He really took one for the team this episode.
Oh man, dude didn't even see it coming.
No, I didn't see it coming at all whatsoever. But you know what, backing off from that for a second, I kind of have to wonder, what did what kind of trauma has her cooking done to her fellow ogres?
Kijin?
Yeah, or Kijin, sorry.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't even tell Rimuru about it. They were just one of them was like, oh, I'm gonna go scouting, and then the other one just kind of turned away like this, and the other one hid his presence altogether. Yeah, so it's just
and it's like they actually knew better to say something.
Yeah, it's they should have said something, but it's I don't know. They just were just I think the older one was just he's like, think of this as a lesson or something. I was just okay. I mean, I guess, but that whole scene was great. And then finally, last part of this episode. Let's talk about Gabiru.
Do we have to?
I mean,
he talks about himself enough.
It's true. Well, actually, to be fair,
his entourage talks about him.
His subordinates, they all talk about him, and he just kind of soaks that all up. So, yeah, he finally makes his grand entrance to the village and whatnot, and of course, he makes a huge embarrassment of himself. And just how cringeworthy can you get, really? But,
actually, that reaction Rimuru and all them had, I was just rolling. I was just loving it. I was like, "Oh, really? They're gonna serve you?"
Right? Yeah. And I also found it funny too, where he's like, "You guys are a bunch of weaklings," and then he actually looks at him and is just like, "Maybe you guys aren't weaklings after all." But in any case, I guess having a name kind of I guess makes the ego inflate a little bit, at least in his case. And of course, it doesn't help. Like we said, his subordinates kind of fan his ego a lot, and it's whatever. But in the end, it doesn't really matter because Gobita is the one that puts him in his place, and pretty easily too. So
it's pretty bad whenever Gobuta does that.
yeah. So and it's funny because like I'm not gonna say he's the weakest in the village, but he's not exactly the strongest either. So it's
I
like,
mean, he can summon the dire wolf.
that is
remember,
true.
So
That is true. And as we saw in this episode, he can use the use other people's shadows to like just teleport. So I mean, clearly Gobuta's got some strength to him. So, but even still, it's like Gobuta compared to all the other like named characters in the
Yeah.
village, or big name characters, I guess. It's like, sorry, Gabiru, but I guess we're just gonna have to put you in your place. So, but overall, I would say this episode thumbs up, 2 thumbs up actually,
nice.
especially for Shion and Shuna. So, and yeah, that's what I thought about this episode. What did you guys think about this episode? Let us know in the comments below.
And thanks for watching.
No, thank you for watching.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
And you. And you.
But not you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not you, Gabiru.
Oh.